大家好，我是青青。今天我们继续《火焰纹章之风花雪月黑旧线》的第10期啊，也是我们帝国线的第1期。我们现在呢面临人生的重大抉择啊，我们是选择杀了艾德尔贾特，还是保护艾德尔贾特呢？杀了进教会，保护进帝国。我们先走帝国线啊，再走教会线。
You! How dare you!
My teacher, Thank you. But are you certain that... No. Now isn't the time for discussion.
Words cannot properly express my gratitude, Professor.
So, this is the choice you have made. You are just another failure. Your presence soils this holy tomb and disgraces my brethren. I will not allow one who would lend our enemies strength to wield the power of the goddess Sothis. I have passed judgment, and now I shall rip your chest open and take back your heart myself!
That must be the Immaculate One.
Yes. The monsters that have controlled Fodlan in secret for far too long. Rhea is their leader.
There is no time to waste. Your Majesty, Professor, we must escape while we can.
雷亚对我们十分的失望啊，十分的失望。
Part 1. White Clouds. Lone Moon. Outset of a power struggle. Together, the people of Fodlan relish the beauty of the brilliant moon overhead as another year ends. They recall sad partings and new acquaintances alike, but each person must still walk their chosen path alone. With each day, the presence of spring grows stronger, and yet a lone moon still haunts the sky, a silent reminder, perhaps, of some inescapable truth.
We somehow managed to escape.
This is one of the Imperial Army's provisional camps. Here we can organize our forces.
Before we go any further, I want all of you to really ask yourselves if you're certain you wish to join us. As expected, Flayn has chosen to leave our ranks.
When I saw our professor running off, I ran about as fast as I could to catch up.
Caspar, death finds those who run without thinking. You gave no thought to the war fog. My grandfather was the leader of Bridget, and I hope for us to be allies with the Empire. I will be staying.
Was this a good idea? Did I make the right choice? Oh, but my family is part of the Empire, and our professor is here.
You're fine here with us, Bernie. Though it's true certain houses were against the Imperial Princess.
I assume you're referring to my family. I must believe that the conclusion I came to was the correct one. You are the Emperor now. I am the only one left who is qualified to guide you at this point.
I'm only here because I know it would be troublesome to stand against you.
I'm not just here for you, Adie. I'm here to follow our dear professor. Of course, I don't have any territory to offer, so Hubie may not even want me here.
The greater our numbers, the better. Your reasons for being here are of no consequence.
I think I understand where you're coming from. But now, I wish to hear of your resolve. Like you, I have risen to meet my destiny. I cut this path, and I will see it through to the end. Following me is akin to pointing a sword at the goddess herself. One misstep, and we fall to our ruin. You have now witnessed the Archbishop's true self. She is a cruel beast. Those who rule this world use that beast's power to fabricate miracles, all to control those who blindly believe in the goddess. They conceal the truth and force their lies on the nobility. They mercilessly annihilate anyone who defies them. I know this because I have lived it. After what you have seen, is there any room for doubt? The Church of Seros has great influence and power. Their control over the lords of the kingdom and the Alliance is nearly absolute. We are the only ones who can stop this indomitable enemy that has plagued our world for ages. We fight for humanity, for all of Fodlan. If you dare walk this path with me, take your first step. It's now or never. Thank you, my friends. We are the true face of the Empire, and we will triumph!
艾戴尔的战前动员啊
That was incredible, Lady Edelgard.
Thank you. Honestly, I'm relieved. They really chose to follow me. I was resolved to move forward alone if I had to. But in my heart, I hoped it wouldn't come to that.
So long as I am here, you will never be alone. Please do not forget that. And it would seem that the Professor also has a key role to play in this.
You're right. Now, I must speak with our dear teacher. Please, make preparations. The messenger should be here shortly.
Consider it done.
Professor, may I speak with you?
我能说不可以吗？雷雅现在一定对我十分的失望啊。没关系，我们还是会走教会线的。
I appreciate it. I'm just anxious. It feels like the weight of this burden is crushing me. At this very moment, on my orders, I'm starting a war. An army far larger than the one that attacked the Holy Tomb last month will soon be locked in battle. Long-devised strategies are unfolding across Fodlan. Leaders are deciding their loyalties and preparing to fight. So many generals and soldiers will die. It's inevitable that civilians will get caught up in the chaos as well. There will be countless casualties. With a single command, the flames of war will rage across all corners of this realm. And I am the one who is giving the order.
不是你选择那条道路的吗？那么放弃吧，选这个皮一下。
No, there is no turning back now. No matter how much blood flows at my feet, I will not relent. We must break the bonds that the depraved church has placed on Fodlan. These sacrifices will allow us to create a future where we never need sacrifice again. It may seem contradictory, but it's the only way. Listen to me. I made up my mind long ago. Yet here I am, seeking your approval. Tell me the truth, my teacher. Are you happy with your decision to stay by my side? Unlike me, you can still walk away from all of this. This path leads to the death of the Archbishop and the servants of the Church. Can you live with that?
现在已经不能浪子回头了。说实在的啊，我真的不太喜欢这条帝国线。但是呢，为了我们视频的完整性啊，我们还是要走一下这条路线啊。这条路线的话，代表你要跟你的杀父仇人站在一起啊，你成为了这个火焰文章之风花雪月的头号带孝子。本来以为带孝子是菲利克斯啊，后来又觉得是休伯特，现在呢，我们才是头号带孝子啊，跟杀父仇人站在一条路上啊。
I never thought... I'm sorry, it was a foolish question. I believe in you, Professor. And you believed in me. With that knowledge, I have the strength to keep fighting. Let's go. There's something I need to say to Hubert.
Your Majesty, the latest report indicates that our main army is advancing as planned. Also, the preparations for your manifesto are almost complete.
We will be distributing our manifesto to every lord within Fodlan. We will expose the dark side of the Church of Seros and the foul practices of the nobles from the Kingdom and the Alliance. We will force the people of Fodlan to open their eyes to the truth and relinquish any remaining conviction to unite against the Empire. Certain nobles have already offered us their support.
Yes, there are other nobles who oppose the Church. We will condemn those who deserve condemnation, and forgive those who deserve forgiveness. We have already purged some of the Imperial nobles who are morally rotten, my father among them.
看来的话呢，我们还不是头号带孝子啊！头号带孝子的宝座呢，还是要让给休伯特。我们只不过是跟杀父仇人合作而已。休伯特呢，杀了他自己的爹，啊，怎么着我也比不上休兄啊！
And soon we will invade and conquer Garreg Mach. Our main army has already departed the Imperial capital. They will arrive at the monastery in 2 weeks' time. There we will join forces with them. As for us, I'd like your opinion on how we should be positioned within the army.
皇帝直属军，帝国游击军，皇帝直属军怎么样？这么御前侍卫啊！
Your Majesty intends to fight alongside the Professor, correct? In that case, you will not be incorporated into the Empire's main army.
其实这个挺搞笑的哦。我是御前侍卫统领，然后我麾下呢有皇帝，皇帝是我的属下。
Your squad can move freely about the battlefield under supervision of the Imperial forces. That would be most prudent.
Now that I'm the Emperor, we can't let it slip that I'm following your command in battle, Professor.
I fully object to the notion of you fighting on the front lines.
Hubert, we've already discussed this.
My apologies. I overstepped.
Now that the details are settled, all that's left is to come up with a name for ourselves. In honor of our time at the Academy, how about we call ourselves the Black Eagle Strike Force?
听名字感觉会输，有点装腔作势，太棒了啊！我们皮一下吧。
With you as our leader, I'm confident we will. To me, that name represents us soaring toward a new dawn, as freely as an eagle. I'll leave it to you to prepare the Black Eagle Strike Force for departure. 本节将在临时阵地进行进军的准备，因此部分设施将受到限制，无法使用。就是说，不能收菜，不能唱歌，也不能吃饭喽。先来跟大家对个话吧。 We will join forces with the main army and attack Garreg Mach. It's a fortress built on steep ground, but it's never seen battle. That means we don't know much about it from a military perspective. But if we use all of the power at our disposal, we will capture it.
上吧。
From a purely mathematical standpoint, we most certainly have the power to win. If the battle becomes a clash of beasts within human strength, you will be our only hope. I believe in you. I'm relying on you to lead the Black Eagle Strike Force to victory.
It is not up to Her Majesty to bring the students to our cause. That task falls to you. You are uniquely able to provide emotional support. Please use that gift to guide others down the path that Lady Edelgard has laid before us. I ask you to do this from the bottom of my heart.
其实走帝国线的话呢，是血亏的啊。怎么个血亏法呢？就你看，如果我们走青狮线的话，或者走教会线，或者走金路线的话呢，这个教会都是不会被，教会都是存在着的。我也是新任教皇，帮了艾德尔的话呢，我只是他手下的一条狗，我根本就做不了教皇，教会都没了，怎么做教皇？
That could have gotten dangerous fast. If I stayed at the monastery, I would have had to fight my father. We aren't especially close, but he's not an opponent I'd want to face. I'd almost rather fight a monster. Anyway, it looks like he's going to be leading the Western units. I wonder if we'll wind up fighting the Kingdom's army, and who decided to fight for the Church.
The most important nobles in the Empire are known for taking power from the previous Emperor, my father included. I didn't think it possible that the Imperial Princess could ascend the throne so easily. However, it seems that both my father and Caspar's are supporting Edelgard. Having both the Minister of Domestic Affairs and Minister of Military Affairs on your side gives you total control over the Empire's military and finances. You must have been making preparations for quite some time without anyone noticing.
Eh? 这么多支援信息，我们来看一下吧。
I'm so sick of it all. There is so much to be done, yet all I encounter are new problems and pitfalls. Sometimes I wish I could spend just one day doing absolutely nothing and gorging myself on sweets.
真令人意外，让我陪陪你吧。
Do you mean it? Just the thought makes me happy. But Hubert would never allow it.
真可惜。
Indeed. It may not be possible now, but one day we will know the joys of idling. Mark my words. Is that a smirk I spy? Is it so amusing to you, me daydreaming of free time?
一点也不奇怪。
Your silly grin says otherwise. But let's put all that aside for now. There is something I've been meaning to tell you. I'm afraid this might sound a bit sentimental. However, I want to thank you. Because of you, I feel I can walk my fated path without losing myself. If I were alone, I might have lost perspective and become a harsh leader with a heart of ice. But I'm not alone. With you by my side, I'm somehow free to be not only a leader, but simply Edelgard.
不用客气。
Until now, no one has been able to surpass me, much less command me. I have always been seen as an untouchable princess or emperor. No one spoke to me as an equal or met my gaze without flinching. It was lonely, terribly lonely. The only person I could rely on as I tried to claw my way out of the darkness was myself. But you have been a brilliant light. Somehow you have chased the darkness away. And for that, I will always be grateful.
休伯特和萨米亚。
What is it, Hubert?
Nothing in particular. Just taking a moment to admire your skill with the bow. I'm willing to bet you could put an arrow through the neck of an enemy general from quite a distance. In fact, to any leader's bodyguard, I would go so far as to say you pose the most dangerous kind of threat.
Don't worry your fragile little self. Your lady princess is safe. I wouldn't shoot my employer.
I would certainly hope not. But there are some mercenaries to whom a contract means little. And you would do well to remember that Lady Edelgard is no mere princess. You should take care to learn the proper form of address for your employer.
I said lady. I already told you, I'm not going to break the princess's contract.
What did I just say?
Proper address. Right. Next time.
My patience has limits, you know. For the moment, you may stand in Lady Edelgard's good graces. But if you become a problem, I will not hesitate to eliminate you.
You're unstable, Hubert. Be careful who you threaten. I don't take kindly to those who get in the way of my contracts.
Is that a threat?
Just some advice.
萨米亚的话呢，如果你不招收他，他是一定会站在教会那一边的，毕竟他也是骑士团的一员嘛。
There she is, and she seems to be alone. Now's my chance. Bernadetta, hello! May I ask you something?
What? Me? I've seen nothing! I wasn't even there! You have no proof! And even if I was there, it's not a crime to find people's hobbies fascinating! I'll forget everything! I'll never tell a soul where I found them or what they were wearing or any of it!
Hold on. Please calm down. It's just me.
Huh? Oh, it's you, Eloise. What a relief.
That's right. Your denials really piqued my curiosity, but I'm glad you've calmed down.
Did you want to talk to me about something?
I did. Listen. You're always so skittish. Just now, for example. But when you saw it was me, you were fine. Why is that? It's been on my mind since I delivered that package. You don't seem scared of me at all.
Were you hoping I would be?
What? Oh, no, certainly not. I was just making an observation.
Well, I guess it's because you remind me of my uncle. He's the only one in my family who's ever been kind to me, and he's the only man I can talk to normally. My uncle and I never did talk that much, but we didn't need to. We just understood each other. Anyway, you really remind me of him, so talking to you feels comfortable.
Ah, so that's why. At last the mystery's solved. Your uncle and I must be quite alike. Is it my face, my physique?
Kind of, but I think it's more your personality.
My personality?
Yeah. You're always so bright, cheerful, and gentle. You put people at ease.
Well, I'm honored to hear you say so. I'd like to meet this uncle of yours. He sounds like a genial fellow. Whereabouts does he live?
Oh, my uncle? I just remembered something. I have to go.
他叔叔不会死了吧？不过话说，阿罗伊斯为什么还在我们的队伍里？他不是应该？阿罗伊斯是不会走帝国线的呀。他。
I asked Edelgard what happened to my father. He was dismissed as Prime Minister, and is under house arrest in the Imperial capital. He always was a greedy, arrogant man. Some would say that this is the fate he deserves. And yet I cannot help but feel indignant. After all his hard work for the Empire, to be disgraced like this. I am conflicted, Professor. I do not know what to do. As the next Duke Eyre, should I follow Edelgard into battle?
费尔迪南特，我对不起你啊！哎，等我们走教会线的时候再说吧。不好意思把你扯进帝国线了呀。
Edelgard became emperor and raised an army, huh? Who knew the kid had it in her? I mean, yeah, of course, I knew she'd be emperor eventually, but the more I think about it, the more surprised I am. I wonder who's gonna win.
一定要获胜。
It makes me scared. We're fighting the Knights of Saros. Still, I know you'll figure something out.
The Empire and Bridget were once warring with each other. But now, I have made the decision to be fighting with the Empire. It is a choice of irony, I feel. But I am having no regrets. My belief is with you, and with Edelgard.
I don't even get my own room here. At least I had that at home. But speaking of home, Hubert told me something. He said my father was stripped of his title. I guess he did as he pleased and opposed Edelgard. Wait, does that mean my father's going to be home all the time now? On second thought, I think I'm fine right here.
你爹也变成家里蹲了啊！你再也不是唯一的那个家里蹲了。学生。
I came this far mostly on impulse, but I wonder if it was the right choice. Everything will be okay, right, Professor? I'm not wrong, am I? If I know that you think it's okay, I feel like it will be easier to believe in myself.
Yep. Oh.
What the?
Yes.
I have heard the name Lord Vestra mentioned among the purged noble families of the Empire. He's Hubert's father, but Hubert seems rather unconcerned about it. That alone is why we soldiers find Hubert quite frightening.
休伯特啊，头号带孝子，我是撼动不了他的地位的。
I'm Randolph von Burgleys. I'm not very high in the ranks yet, but I'm more or less a general. Just like Caspar, I'm from House Burgleys. My mother married into House Burgleys after I was born, so my position within the family is rather lowly. But I'm determined to make something of myself in this battle to bring glory to my part of the family, for the sake of my mother and sister.
I believe that this is the first time we have met. My name is Ladislava. I have the great honor of leading Lady Edelgard's personal guard. Her Majesty is as hard on others as she is on herself. She may seem composed, but that is only because she conceals her more passionate emotions. For that reason, she is often misunderstood. But now she has you by her side. I find that most reassuring. I look forward to working with you.
Hello.
这里就可以前往战斗了啊。
Right. I'm a soldier, but I had to think long and hard about this one. Since birth, I've believed in the teachings of Saros without ever questioning them. But Her Majesty's words are true. To think that the Archbishop can take on such a monstrous form.
而且我还背叛了谁呢？我还背叛了苏蒂斯。
Professor.
Black Eagle Strike Force, eh? I like it. It's really a twist of fate that brought me to this side of things, but I'm still proud to be here.
哎，是不是我队伍里面的？你像汉尼曼、马努埃拉、阿罗伊斯和萨米亚的话，他们都不在这里啊，我好像没有找到他们呢。
Yes. To be frank, I'm not sure whether I should believe all that Edelgard says. But if her words are true, I think it's best to be her ally. So I'll fight. I'm not at ease with that decision just yet, but I'll stick by it.
Right.
支援信息的话也没有什么了。加尔古马库之战，新皇帝艾戴尔贾特向教团宣战，为了结束由文章主宰一切的世界，他以攻陷塞罗斯教的象征加尔古马库为目标。新的战乱之势由此揭开序幕。其实，雷亚统治的挺好的，对吧？
We will soon arrive at Garrigmach Monastery. Forcing a surrender here is extremely significant, both strategically and symbolically. Of course, this is personal as well. This is where we all came together to learn and grow. I have no intention of yielding to our former classmates, so I ask that you prepare yourselves for anything.
I'm not thinking about friends right now, and I'm certainly not prepared.
Damn it, don't go around saying things that lower morale before we even get started. I'm ready. Let's go. Let's fight.
I have nothing to lose aside from my friends who are here with me. Does that answer satisfy you?
I have been ready for this since leaving my land of home. I will fight and win.
How can you prepare to fight? Maybe I can prepare to prepare.
There is no reason that I should not be prepared. It is my duty to stand up and battle.
thank you all. Now, let's talk strategy.
As the raiding force, we will attack the area nearest to the monastery. The Knights of Seros certainly won't stand down after they catch sight of Her Majesty and the Professor. At the same time, the remaining areas will be surrounded and annihilated by the main army. In other words, we are the decoy that must suppress the enemy's most elite soldiers.
We know more about the area near the monastery than anyone else in the Imperial Army. Still, we must prepare for the worst. It's possible we will have to face the Archbishop's true form, the Immaculate One. Fight with all you have, but don't be reckless. As promised, I will leave the command to our professor.
不会输。
Naturally. With both Her Majesty and yourself on our side, defeat is impossible.
This will be our first battle as the Black Eagle Strike Force. All the more reason to prevail.
阿罗伊斯他真的可以上啊！ 我以为阿罗伊斯是一定会反水的。天哪！阿罗伊斯不反水的吗？吉奥伯特，西提斯，阿萨勒之枪。 福莲，要有个人去开门，然后开完门之后，看看雷亚在哪儿。哎，这边3个敌人的话，分别是吉尔伯特、西提斯和福莲。看一下我们的站位啊。 菲尔迪南特，看一下当前的骑士团奇霍尔龙骑兵团霸凯队。 埃戴尔转职了吗？我看现在是霸凯队猛火计集团魔法火共鸣魔法雷贝斯特拉魔道工兵休伯特的骑士团也自动更换了，戈迪耶骑士团还是拿的小凡的骑士团，林哈尔特的话鲁维尔士女队。林哈尔特能不能装？ 塞罗斯圣队、塞罗斯重装队、魔道学院义勇部队、加魔宫、加命者、路米尔自警团、杰拉尔特佣兵团、鲁维尔侍者队。 商人私兵团，毒计。其实你可以改成那个什么魔道学院的，魔道学院义勇部队啊。帕梅拉佣兵团一起射击。塞罗斯圣队、塞罗斯工兵队、塞罗斯骑士。
Friends, our opportunity for victory will come. But first, we must see to our defenses.
The city's defenders are trying to stall for time. We must crush them swiftly. We should be wary of ambushes as well.
Ladislava is being pushed on the left flank. We must push back with equal force.
I am Ferdinand von Eyre.
You can do it! Do it! You've got it!
I will get the victory. Stay focused.
我直接去干西提斯好了。
Each battle, a chance to grow.
接着呢，佩托拉来给我跳舞。
Well done. Hard work created this.
Traitor! I will not forgive you for turning on Rhea.
对不起了呀，对不起了呀。
I cannot yield.
Seneth, please, do not overextend yourself. I am still in this fight.
I'm sorry, Flame. Withdraw if you must.
我是要去干谁啊？我这边他都没有什么，宫殿里面都没人啊，这里面就几个。
Put me in there.
That's my cue.
I will prevail.
帝国兵全他妈是暗术师啊！草地无地形效果，可以从这里穿过来，对不对？所以的话，大家都向前吧。
My turn. I think.
Oh no.
这么远哦，设个墙算了吧，墙没什么好设的。
Battle.
Ah. 命中为零。因为佩托拉的话，他有剑回避，好硬啊！
as expected.
Allow me to demonstrate.
That is that. Another step forward.
Oh!
直接反杀了。太硬了，太硬了，这也。
I'm just getting started.
Predictable. No hesitation.
You fought well.
这儿来人了。
Now! Hidden soldiers, attack!
"暗术师，好厉害啊！暗术师。这里面没人啦，就几个天马骑士，真的吗？我记得好像不是这样的呀，这跟说好的不一样啊。
Each battle, a chance to grow.
No one makes it past me. Pretty good, don't you think?
For Lady Edelgard. Any experience is worth having.
You will be slapped down!
One more success. War feeds my body and mind.
看一下佩托拉的回避吧，回避60%的回避，基本上 剑术5级，剑回避加20，弩为2，侍者队的话也是加他的回避啊。
I'm only getting better with age.
老当益壮，廉颇老矣，尚能干否？
Well, how was that? I must get stronger.
Not so fast. That was me.
This can't be right.
"不，我不能接受。
I am Ferdinand von Eyre.
连击钢枪，还是不行吗？
This can't be right.
就站这儿吧。不对，我不信，我不信，我不信。
I am Ferdinand von Eyre.
That was nothing.
This can't be right.
Oh no. Can I go now? What?
Battle.
Whoa.
You shall not pass! I will protect Garrick Mock!
福莲什么时候变得这么？
Unfortunately, you must die here. You should never have defied the goddess.
No damage， 你还打？
must protect Garrick Mach. I must protect everyone.
We will lend the Empire strength.
Don't worry, we're allies now. I understand you must have many questions, but they'll have to wait until after the battle.
死神骑士来了，这波稳了。
Stay focused.
那吉尔伯特的话就只能交给我啦，对不对？我的枪坏了，换一把。
That's my cue.
That helps.
那个什么拉瓦，你不要再找死了。
I'm grateful.
你还把吉尔伯特堵在这个位置，谁都过不去。
I will get the victory.
The mark of nobility. Greatness awaits me.
I will prevail. Witness my power. One step at a time.
I can still shine brighter.
My turn? A weak point. I read you like a book. This wouldn't have happened in my youth.
Truly amazing.
Anywhere I can hide. I guess hard work does pay off.
As you wish.
A great help.
Put me in there.
Make your peace.
"互相伤害吧。
Not enough. Child's play.
人菜瘾大。来吧，来吧！嘿，他好硬啊！
If you side with the Empire, if you turn your sword on the Church and on the Kingdom, I care not who you are. I will end you just the same.
Let this be a lesson.
算了，或者我有没有什么破盔？哎，这个对重装的敌人是有效的。什么？破盔也才打2点血，那算了。
In my master's name, I cannot allow myself to fall here. I must withdraw.
基奥伯特，对不起了。多罗蒂亚抢了个人头啊，一下子升了2级。
Seteth, Flame, Gilbert, you put your lives on the line to protect us. I would have preferred to have more time to prepare, but we cannot delay any longer. Come forth. Protect Garreg Mach Monastery from those despicable rebels.
I'll crush them all.
Her enemies are my enemies.
生理条件改变，刚才听到声音啊，这个门打开来了。这怪物的话呢是不算敌将的，敌将的话一个是 J 利尔，一个是雷亚。赛罗斯之剑，回复造成伤害的50%，吸血剑啊，每回合恢复 HP。来自魔物的伤害减半，每回合恢复 HP。卡多利奴，那还等什么呢？走吧。过来给我跳支舞。
Thank you.
我可以再次行动了。
Let's keep at it.
Thank you.
Take that off. Your defeat was inevitable.
怎么你害怕我？你跑了？ 只要击败敌将即可。那我绕后不就行了？
That is that. We must all do our part.
Just what we need. I knew Her Majesty's allies would help us out. I'm grateful.
这里大家似乎都被堵住了。啊！这……我看一下哦，这个它应该是属于魔物吧？它是魔像啊。 所以呢，圣枪是克这个的。我躲他打不中我，反击打不中。不
！So shameful. How could I fall like this?
I will prevail. We won't hold back.
I am Ferdinand von Eyre. Greatness awaits me.
As you wish.
Need backup?
My plan is flawless.
I still have a long way to go.
获得了一个秘营。这些都是对应的。你像比如说雷亚的武器啊，赛罗斯之剑，还有西提斯的武器和弗莲的武器，修复的话都是需要秘营。然后如果是十节的武器啊，像那个卡多利奴的雷霆啊。 这些的话，修复都需要黑暗金属，这些也都是对应的。
My turn.
你打不到啊！ 封锁队伍， 直接给风光出来。帅气！贝尔也雄起了。
What did I expect?
别跑啊！你们干什么呢？这么远打到我，来打我呀
！Predictable.
This is nothing.
Put me in there.
That's my cue. I won't go down so easily. I want to be all I can.
Yeah! 圣枪是克制效果的啊，所以直接干碎了。过来，计策，猛火计。
We'll work together.
You fooled yourself.
One step at a time.
More polish never hurts.
还有一块，还有最后一块。射碎这块，碎了没啊？获得了密银。
Any experience is worth having.
I'll grow as strong as I can.
You're in my sight.
泰尼曼的必杀挺高的。
Battle.
Well done.
I will get the victory.
Stay focused.
You fought well.
获得了圣功。 圣弓的话也是克制魔物的，之后可以交给贝尔。
I'll protect Lady Rhea against anyone. Even if it's you, I'll fight you as hard as I can.
No hesitation.
Lady Rhea, I couldn't fight hard enough.
Cyril, your sacrifice will not be in vain.
Not so fast!
That is that.
还好吸了一点血。你都可以不用动了，回复的话我聊得到谁啊
I owe you one.
打雷亚的话必须给足他面子啊，直接上天地之霸剑。雷亚这也太残忍了！打雷亚用天地之霸剑，这剑就是他的呀
How dare you betray me? You worthless piece of garbage! I will punish you myself!
我们又是一个试验品。在我们之前，雷亚你到底有多少试验品啊？雷亚的赛罗斯之剑和赛罗斯之盾啊，很漂亮，光滑流彩。
I will not allow Garrick Mach or my mother to fall.
哎，哦，打雷亚就可以了。我刚才都没有打卡多利奴啊，战斗就结束了。
You will not be forgiven!
Professor, look out!
The castle is crumbling! We must escape! Professor, take cover!
Professor!
我又一次坠落了悬崖，世界线收束了。之前呢是为了救雷亚，现在呢直接是被雷亚打下去的。
In Imperial year 1181, the new Adrestian Emperor, Edelgard von Hresvelg, led a strategic assault against the monastery at Garrick Mach. Though her own losses were great, her foes had no choice but to surrender. Archbishop Rhea commanded the Knights of Seros, leading from the front lines against the Imperial army. After a hard-fought battle, she was forced to retreat to Ferdiad, the capital of Fargus, where she must now plan her next move. With this single attack, the Adrestian Empire officially launched its offensive against the Holy Kingdom of Fargus and the Leicester Alliance. The unification of Fodlan has begun.
其实我还是挺喜欢这种一统天下的剧
Part
情
2.
的。
Crimson Flower. Ethereal Moon. Beyond Escape.
然而一统天下的不是我呀，我只是艾戴尔的一条狗。
It is Imperial Year 1185. Half a decade has passed since Emperor Edelgard ascended the Imperial throne, yet the continent of Fodlan still remains lost in a tempest of turmoil and bloodshed. In the Holy Kingdom of Fargus, King Dimitri has welcomed Archbishop Rhea and her knights, who were driven out of Garreg-Mach to the kingdom capital. As they work to build a unified front, the war with the Empire rages on to the west. Meanwhile, Claude, leader of the Alliance, staves off Imperial intervention by strategically stirring up conflicts between Leicester lords in an effort to feign neutrality. As events unfold, Edelgard and her Black Eagle strike force begin to take action in an attempt to break the war's current state of deadlock.
小王子登基了。
How long do you intend to sleep? Your body is awake. Your eyes must open now, and you must find the strength to stand upon those legs of yours. Like so much rain, a pool of blood has fallen to the ground. As spears and arrows pierce the earth, it weeps. And even now, it weeps. In order to survive, they kill. And so the people of this world are lost in an abyss of suffering. They weep as well. The only one who truly knows the nature of such things is I. Or rather, you.
是谁？是苏蒂斯啊！你连苏蒂斯都不认识了吗？
Excuse me? Are you saying you have forgotten who I am? How dare you? Get on your feet. Right now. I'll coddle you no more. You are just like a child, always needing me to hold your hand.
Hey, are you awake?
你是哎
We're in a village at the base of the monastery. What are you doing in a place like this? I honestly didn't expect to find someone floating away down the river.
Garreg-Mach is upstream of here, but that place was abandoned.
什么意思啊？
Huh? You don't know? The Church of Saros isn't there anymore. Though there have been some folks still living there in the 5 years since... well, you know. Regardless, the Imperial Army has taken over now.
现在是哪一年呢？
Are you feeling alright? You didn't hit your head or anything, did you? It's the ethereal moon of the year 1185. It's been nearly 5 years since the monastery fell. Tomorrow was supposed to be the Millennium Festival, but who's got time to think about things like that?
千年祭。
Yeah, that's what I said. But with the war and the Archbishop still missing and all, I doubt there's a soul to be found who has enough blessings worth counting. Hey, slow down, will ya? Where do you think you're going?
大修道院。
Are you crazy? The Imperial Army is there. Come on, I promise I won't say you're a coward. Just forget about going anywhere near the monastery. You just remember I tried to stop you. Got it? It's not on my conscience if you wind up dead.
不需担心。
Unbelievable.
小王子终于登基了。我玩青视线的时候玩到最后他才登基。哎，现在的话呢，他已经提前了。
5 years ago to the day. If things had continued on as they were, today would have been the Millennium Festival.
Halt! Who's there?
It can't be. Professor? Is it really you? But I searched everywhere and never found a trace. My teacher. What have you been doing all this time? Where have you been?
死了。
Joking? At a time like this? You do realize it's been 5 years since you disappeared. Do you have any idea how guilty I felt? How broken my heart was? I searched high and low after you vanished. Although there was no proof, I somehow knew you were alive. All this time, I led everyone as best I could, and fought with all my heart. It's been a difficult path to walk alone. Welcome back, my teacher. I'm so happy that you're safe. 5 years. Such a short time, but it feels like an eternity ago. Do you still feel the way you did all those years ago? You said then that you would fight at my side no matter how many enemies we should amass. As for me, my resolve has not faltered. I'm determined as ever to see this through to the end. I will defeat the false goddess. I will save this world from those creatures and give humanity its freedom back. So, my teacher, are you prepared to stand with me?
下定决心了。
I thank you, truly. Now then, I assume you understand the situation at hand, yes?
我真的沉睡了5年，好吗？这5年的记忆啊，一片空白。
Another joke? Or are you telling the truth? I suppose you must be. In that case, I'll tell you all that has transpired as you slumbered these past 5 years. And that is where we are now. The war is at a stalemate. Dimitri is the new king of Fargus. It's clear that his territory will continue to support the church. Meanwhile, Claude's leadership has thrown the Alliance into chaos. He maintains neutrality in their internal conflict. The situation has created a deadlock. We've been awaiting an opportunity for our squadron to return to the monastery. With you in the fray, I believe the state of the war will shift immediately. The church, as well as the kingdom and the alliance. The time has come to eliminate them all.
击败王国和同盟，势必要与小王子为敌了。
Although we were of different houses, we were companions who lived and learned together. Some of our ranks are hesitant to battle against them. However, knowing that you're alive is sure to raise their spirits. Good. Well then, I believe it's time for a little reunion. The Black Eagle Strike Force never lost faith. They knew you were alive and have been awaiting your return. Let's not keep them waiting any longer.
各个单位在5年间都有所成长，先行确认兵种或武器吧。伊艾里扎会和我方一起行动了。
Well now, that face is certainly familiar. I am glad to see you alive and well, Professor.
Professor! It's me, Bernie! Do you remember me? I can't believe you're here!
贝尔变漂亮了。
Is this a dream? Can we really be this lucky?
This is not dreaming. Our professor is with us again. Welcome to the back. I mean, welcome back.
Our group isn't the same without you. I am overjoyed to see you again.
菲尔迪南特变帅了呀！
It's been so long. Seeing you again fills my heart with hope.
Great! Now everything will be easy. That's great you're safe, Professor. I'm deeply, deeply moved.
林哈尔特是变化最大的一个。其实他5年前的话，我觉得他长得不是很帅啊。现在的话就非常可以了。
Quite the reunion, isn't it, Professor? Everyone's happy to see you.
Come on, Edelgard. You must be happier than all of us combined. She took it really hard when you disappeared, Professor.
Of course, we did our very best in your absence. And there was never a day that we doubted you would return to us.
Edelgard has been leading us as Emperor. But after you disappeared, it became apparent that you were her anchor.
It gives me regret to be admitting this, but our power is not enough. The only one who can be meeting Edelgard's expectations is you, Professor.
Most impressive of all is your uncanny ability to bring a smile to everyone's face.
In the years since you vanished, we have not lost anyone from our ranks.
We all longed for your presence and your leadership, myself included.
It seems fitting to view this as a new beginning for the Black Eagle Strike Force. We already have our target.
Yes, we must eliminate the Alliance before moving on to fight the Kingdom and the Church. However, that doesn't necessarily mean we must occupy the entirety of the Alliance. House Regan stands against the Empire. Therefore, our target is Deirdre, the aquatic capital.
李刚将就是库罗德。库罗德的话呢，他虽然非常的鸡贼，想要保持一个平衡，但是艾戴尔贾特一眼看破。
We must cross the Aramid River, which separates the Empire and the Alliance. To do that, we must take the largest bridge across it. The Great Bridge of Myrden. Myrden connects the monastery and the Imperial capital to the east. It is the shortest route there.
An Alliance stronghold has been built at the Great Bridge. We'll take that and then head north. At the same time, we must defeat the one who defends it, Judith von Daphne. If we can also take control of Daphne territory, it would be greatly beneficial to us. Prepare yourselves. The next battle will be a momentous one. Join me, my friends, as we begin our journey to bring peace and solace to this war-ravaged world.
密尔丁大桥之战在青狮线是非常靠后的战斗啊，没想到在黑旧帝国线的话，是第一场战斗啊，那我们的轨迹的话就完全改变了。圣齐霍尔日，今天是西提斯的生日。
Learning these things gives me great difficulty.
Professor, let me sing for you. Do you not like my voice? It would make a Pegasus dance with joy.
佩托拉过了5年，这英语还说不利索吗？
Now is the time to master this.
Nice place, isn't it, Professor? Standing here, you can almost feel the goddess's absence. Discounting what dwells within you, of course. Do you think some punishment would rain down from the sky if this monastery were to be destroyed? Of course not. Even if the so-called Immaculate One came back here for revenge, that would only be a result of this war, not the work of a deity.
你讨厌女神吗？
If it is between love and hate, then I would choose the latter. The goddess failed to properly govern this world. That is why it is necessary for Lady Edelgard to become the supreme leader of Fodlan. Those with power must use it wisely. Is that not a teaching of the Church of Seros? It's absurd to preach to others what you cannot practice yourself.
有时也必须提倡自己做不到的事。
That is logical, but I am afraid your logic is informed by your humanity. That is not the case for inhuman creatures with lifespans well beyond our own. We must fight to preserve what makes us human. You are the one closest to the enemy. I wonder if you will be able to maintain your humanity to the end.
当然啦，如果做不到的话，那
Does that mean you know I will do what must be done? You must trust me a great deal. I've already dedicated my life to Lady Edelgard. To throw my lot in with you is inconceivable. But if I had 2 lives to give, I might devote one of them to you. We could be a couplet of birds, flying alongside the sovereign of black eagles.
你这是表白吗？真的有人会选择跟休伯特结婚吗？这口味也太重了。最上级考试准考证，我可以考了。最高级的话要33级。考圣飞马骑士。
I've set my sights higher.
艾戴尔的话呢，让他考飞龙骑士。
As expected.
巴凯队的话，这就装备不上了。休伯特的话，等他的暗术师升到满级再说。费尔迪南特。圣骑士，马术要 B 以上。成功啦
My future is bright.
林哈尔特考一个主教。
I passed?
卡斯帕尔的话也是飞龙，哎，哦，我没有上级准考证了。贝尔的话先弓箭手吧 ，Dorothea 先不用考了，佩托拉不用考，汉尼曼的。阿罗伊斯不让他上场啊。萨米亚的话他已经有了。伊艾里扎老师，目前的兵种就是死神骑士啊，那你也不用考啊，你就做死神骑士呗，对不对？只要买1张上级考试准考证。然后让卡斯帕尔考飞龙骑士。
Oh yeah, nailed it.
那看起来大家的骑士团都不能用了。艾德尔的话，来一个塞罗斯天马兵团吧。贾拉提天马队诱导之计，这个也挺好。卡斯帕尔，诶，塞罗斯天马兵团引诱之计。伊艾里扎他居然没有骑士团， 你就稍微练一练吧。特技，看看伊艾里扎有什么特技呢？杀意，杀意是什么？由自己发动攻击时命中加20，再移动。枪术专家，天才。剑术不用了，他是用枪的嘛。守卫的用兵术。剑术辅术，剑术理学指挥。战绩，伊艾里扎他有什么战绩啊？旋风枪萤火，根据自己的防守提升威力，士气一击。破坏强击，阿罗伊斯他真的还在队伍里面啊！不过阿罗伊斯的话，我还是不让他上场了。哇，这么多！我们先存个档，然后来看支援信息吧。
Standing tall, I see.
Edelgard, hello. What do you think of this horse? An equine marvel, no? Look how intelligent he is. You can see it in his face. Certainly much smarter than your horse.
Oh, what a lovely bloom.
Behold, Edelgard. Do you see this blood-red bloom? This is much more impressive than the pale little sprigs you have there. And as I'm sure you know, redness symbolizes courage and strength.
Ferdinand, stop. I can't believe you're wasting my time with a petty one-sided rivalry.
What are you complaining about? You told me not to publish my pamphlet, and I complied.
I've had enough of your foolish antics. Very well. I will grant you the duel you so desperately desire. But when I win, you must forfeit the right to bother me with your ridiculousness. Forever. Do we have a deal?
Ah, so you'll fight me after all? Wonderful. To battle then! All right, Edelgard. Have at me!
As you wish.
你把握不住的，小伙子。
It only took you one blow? How?
I can't afford to hold back against an opponent like you. I led with my fastest, strongest strike.
Fastest and strongest? You're just flattering me. I have been defeated. Utterly. I cannot believe I was foolish enough to challenge such a plainly superior opponent.
The difference in our skill level is not so great as all that. If you had taken the first strike, you might have won. That's why I didn't give you the chance.
I do not think talent is what separates us so much as readiness. I had not the faintest idea of what to expect from a real duel. I was playing, but you were not. That such an ill-prepared noble would think to challenge you? It is laughable.
Ferdinand.
菲尔迪南特终于意识到了自己和艾戴尔之间的差距。
Ah, young Edelgard. This is your first time in this room, yes?
That's right. When I was a student, I avoided this place. I couldn't allow the church to learn of my crests, after all.
True enough. But now you have come here by your own choice. Can I take that as an indication that you have come to trust me a little more?
I suppose so, though I'm still bothered by certain things.
Tell me, what things might those be?
Well, we're fighting to free the world from the Church's control, and to unify Fodlan. You must have some idea of what the world I'm seeking to create will be like.
With the world freed from the powers of crests, Fodlan's system of nobility will collapse.
Precisely. Our current system is founded on the fact that crests are inherited through blood. If we shatter the status quo so that those without crests are no longer at the mercy of those with them, the very concept of nobility will vanish.
Why should that have any effect on me? I am no longer a member of the nobility.
Perhaps the fate of the nobility is of no consequence to you. But what about that of crests? You've devoted your life to unraveling their secrets. Whereas I seek to create a world where crests are no longer valued. In fact, I would prefer to rid the world of them entirely if at all possible. Does this not concern you?
I see. I think I finally understand why you've always seemed so unsure about me. You imagine your ambition might crush my dreams. I assure you, there is nothing to worry about. I support your plans and your ideals wholeheartedly. But at the same time, I also believe that the influence of crests will not be so easily quelled. That is why I must continue to research them and unravel all the secrets they hold.
I see.
推翻文章制度啊！艾戴尔和马努埃拉。
Professor Manuela, may I come in? This room, what happened here?
Oh, nothing out of the ordinary. Why? Is something the matter?
No, I just... can I help you tidy up? Actually, I have to know. How did you make such a mess in the first place?
Please don't ask for the details. Suffice to say, my room always looks like this after I've been dumped.
Oh, right. Well, let's see what we can do about it.
Your help was unexpected, but appreciated, Edelgard. Now, what can I do for you?
I heard that you haven't been acting like yourself, so I came to see if you're doing all right. But the moment I saw you, I could tell you were troubled, so it seemed pointless to ask.
I suppose it was rather obvious, wasn't it? Perhaps I should stop being quite so dramatic. All the same, dear, I'd like to repay you for helping me out. Name your prize.
I don't need a reward. But if you wouldn't mind answering my question, I'd greatly appreciate it.
Of course. What is it?
I once asked you why you chose to retire. You said that the goddess supports you emotionally, but it's up to you to take care of the rest. I have to admit that I don't quite understand what you meant by that. Can you please explain?
Did I say that? I suppose so. From joining the Middle Franc Opera Company to becoming a diva of the grand stage. I went through so much to achieve what I did. Looking back, I don't know how I made it.
What happened during that time?
A lot. My divinely gifted voice only got me to the edge of the stage. From there, I had to work hard to defeat my rivals. I did all of this by myself, through sheer force of will. All so I could stand center stage.
Ah, I see I was wrong about something. I thought that being a devout believer implied a certain weakness of spirit, an inability to survive on your own. But you've proven me wrong, Professor Manuela.
休伯特和菲尔迪南特。
Show them this letter. Threaten them. Do what you must. Now go.
Yes, sir.
Hubert, that letter. Is that what I think it was?
I suppose there's no denying it.
But Edelgard...
explicitly forbade me to send it. Yes, I know.
I cannot believe it! You disobeyed a direct order? I thought you were her loyal aide.
Unwaveringly. All that I do for her. I seem to recall you expressing a similar sentiment. It is our role to guide her when she is on the wrong course of action. Is that not what you said?
You're not supposed to do it in secret. When you disagree with your leader, you must voice your concerns directly. Otherwise, what is the point?
The point is the same. Lady Edelgard's best interests are served whether she knows it or not. She needs not trouble herself with the mundane details of my actions. Only results matter.
You are sorely misguided. When I believe that Edelgard is making a mistake, I tell her as much. Through discussing the matter, I sometimes find that I was mistaken. To skip that process, to make a decision that is not yours to make.
Perhaps your advice is simply useless then.
Excuse me?
Listen to yourself. If I do as Lady Edelgard requires, then you tell me to be more independent. But if I tread my own path, I am misguided. I suppose the fault is mine for expecting any useful advice to come out of your mouth.
Ugh, I have had enough of your grousing. To think, I started to believe you were a useful aid.
林哈尔特和 Dorothea。
Where has it gone?
Lynn, you got a minute?
Oh, Dorothea. Are you done being alone?
Please, don't say it like that. I let the gossipers get to me, and I snapped at you. Can you forgive me?
You have my forgiveness, although I remember no wrongdoing on your part.
Oh, well, thank you, I guess.
So, do you feel better?
About the gossip? Not even a little bit. I need someone to talk to, and I figure it should be you.
Oh? Okay. What is it?
About the things that those soldiers were saying. The truth is, I agree with them. As selfish as I am, I curried favor with a noble so I could enroll here. An orphan like me, here. Crazy, right? And now to be leading troops as one of the professor's generals? I'm way out of my league. I'm doing the best I can, of course, but sometimes I wonder if it's enough.
Dorothea, if I may offer a bit of advice, you have no reason to face anything you do not wish to. If the past distresses you, then just let it go. It's as simple as that.
But it's my past. You can't escape your past.
You've probably overcome a lot of tough times, haven't you? I think that's incredible, really, but why not just let go of the suffering and run away from the memories that cause you pain? I suspect you'll find it a better way of living. I know I do.
That's not living, Lynn. It's running away. If I leave my hardships behind, then all of that means nothing.
Good point. Well said. Yet, I propose ignoring your past changes nothing of who you are today. I see before me a great woman who should not be bothered by idle gossip. Even if you dropped everything and took a nap for 1,000 years, you would still be you.
What an example. I don't quite get it, but I am a bit envious of you. Still, I can't live the way you do.
At least try it. Go take a nap where a noble will see you. Give them something to talk about.
Maybe I will.
佩托拉和萨米亚。
Shamir, you are training away from the ground of training.
Ah, Petra. Well, it looks like it might rain.
I have understanding. Rain training can cause unhealthiness. Can I give you a question now?
Sure.
You come from Dagda, I think. Why are you working at the monastery?
You can tell I'm from Dagda? Oh, I suppose Bridget is our neighbor. As for why I work here, that's simple. I work to live. I also have an interest in seeing what happens to your professor. I don't plan to return to Dagda anytime soon.
But Fodlan is an enemy for you, right? Are you feeling okay about that?
The only ones I've fought in person are the Imperial Army, under the command of the previous Emperor. I carry no ill will toward anyone else, including, of course, the current Emperor.
I have gratitude for your answering. You have given me understanding.
How about you? Do you hate them? The Empire is your father's enemy, no? And it's Dagda's fault that Brigid got pulled into the war at all. So, do you hate Dagda? Or do you see that as none of your concern?
The fault is not of Dagda. My father made his own choice to be joining the war. I cannot say I have no hatred for the Empire, but I do not have any for Edelgard. She gives me much help and strength. I cannot have hate for her.
Makes sense. You can hate a country without hating its people.
You speak with such honesty. It is very amazing.
I'm not that special. I just don't let emotions get in my way.
佩托拉穿得好性感啊！
My, look at the time. I really should retire for the evening.
Professor!
Oh, my. Who's there? Aloise? Well now, wherever did you come from?
I came in through the door.
Came through the... try doing so with a bit less volume in the future. Now then, why are you visiting at such a late hour?
I'm looking to enlist the services of a magic wielder. I thought you might be the man for the job.
You're a knight, Aloise. Why would I teach you magic?
You're a teacher, weren't you?
Perhaps you should ask one of your friends already trained in the magical arts. I am tired and would very much like to turn in for the evening.
Slow down there. I heard a rumor you were looking for novice magic users. Did I hear wrong, or am I just an unsuitable student? Were you hoping for another young girl instead?
Ah, you heard about that, did you? I'm afraid that was simply for the purpose of my experiments. I had no intention of teaching anyone. Anyway, as I said, I am off to bed. Good night, Aloise.
Wait! Hold on, Professor Hanneman. I'm no good at magic, and for a long time I've been hoping to improve my skills. Some of the other knights look down on me for having no crest and no magical skill. I can't do anything about the crest, but the magic, maybe that's a different story. Please, I want to learn. You've got to help me.
Ah, maybe I'm just a fool who goes soft in the face of someone's hunger for knowledge. I will help you. I cannot teach you any spells, but I can do my best to try and improve your magical affinity. Will that be enough?
Of course! How marvelous! I look forward to training with you then.
Very well. We will see what we can do. For now, I am off to bed, and you should do the same.
其实我是没有想到阿罗伊斯他竟然会加入帝国线的。我招他的话是为了教会线做准备的，原来他也可以背叛教会啊！我们看一下名册吧，伊艾里扎。这是我们第一次招募到他，他的文章是拉米努之小文章，使用回复魔法是低几率不消费次数，这个跟梅斯是一样的。不过的话，伊艾里扎他应该是不能够使用回复魔法的吧？他这个职业。萨利耶尔之大镰，以古代技术制作的镰刀，死神骑士爱用的武器，估计是地底人给他做的吧。 好高啊，1.93米，可惜还是没有嘟嘟高。他擅长剑术、枪术、格斗术、马术。飞行的话是可以突破的，信仰不行，指挥不行。他的兴趣是剑的锻炼和照顾猫，喜欢的东西呢，甜食、猫和姐姐。讨厌贵族多事的人，酒和父亲。交情较深的伙伴只有青青一个。阿罗伊斯啊，之前的话我们也没有看过。他1181年辞退塞罗斯骑士团，四处寻找青青。然后85年的话，于加尔古马库与青青重逢。阿罗伊斯都50岁啦，那老爹得有多老啊？他的兴趣是收集古代货币，钓鱼完全钓不到。喜欢的东西是开玩笑、家人、骑士团的伙伴、甜食、大朵的花。讨厌的东西呢是辣的东西、幽灵、坐船。他也讨厌幽灵啊。跟亚修一样，亚修也是怕鬼。他是没有文章的。特技是老好人，老好人什么鬼？使用支援指令时，受到支援的我方幸运加8。生存本能，萨米亚的自己发动攻击并将敌人击败时。力量、魔力、技巧、速度加4。杀意由自己发动攻击时命中加20。马努艾拉是医务室之主，临街的我方战斗时，我方的必杀回避加10。文章学者使用支援指令时，受到支援的我方魔力加4。剑的话你也不要了，你拿把枪吧。拿一把铁枪好了。怎么还有训练用枪？这什么鬼？圣枪、必杀枪、勇者之枪、钢枪，就这样吧。奋起聚会，那我们本周末的话还是选择散步。筹措物资，阿鲁比涅飞鱼和白银鱼，没有白银鱼啊。武器店有新武器进货了。道具店有新道具进货了，骑士团呢有新的骑士团注册了，帝国重战士团、枪阵、帝国圣魔队、帝国游击队。吸收之际，以对范围内敌人所造成伤害的50%回复自身，加务工。帝国禁卫队、帝国飞龙队。黑鹫重斧队、黑鹫战旗队、黑鹫天马队，没什么需要的。可疑的公告呢？艾黛尔怎么笑得如此之恐怖啊？你们俩占领了雷亚和西提斯的办公室是吗？这个
Professor, I'm sorry to have dragged you into the fight again so soon after our reunion. but you appeared at a most opportune time. I'm truly humbled by your support, my teacher. Thank you.
就交给我吧。
And so I will. I'm hoping your abilities from 5 years prior are still intact. Make sure you're ready to head out, okay?
This experience is critical.
Allow me to brief you on the details of our situation. The Empire firmly controls the western portion of Fargus. However, the central and eastern regions continue to put up heavy resistance. The strongholds in these regions are Aryan Road, the fortress city, and Ferdiad, the kingdom capital. We cannot control Fargus until we have taken both of these cities. As for the Alliance, Houses Gloucester and Ordelia seem predisposed to capitulate to us.
古罗斯塔尔是洛莲兹家，然后科迪利亚家的话是希尔达，是希尔达他们家吧？
However, due to interference from houses Regan and Gonal, we have yet to secure their cooperation.
希尔达是哥纳利尔家，应该是刚才他说的这个科迪利亚是那个利斯提亚他们家。
Claude obviously hopes to keep the Alliance whole through diplomacy. But because we have had to focus our efforts against the Church until now, our forces have yet to meet his. We have only recently begun to take the fight to Alliance territory. I have a request for you.
飞鱼我是有，但是白银鱼的话，不知道到哪里去找呢？话说，其实啊，感觉没有我艾德尔还发展的快一点呢，对吧？像我们青狮县支持小王子的时候啊，你看艾德尔的话，都已经把王国全境拿下了，小王子都无处容身了，对吧？ 都只能把他逼到大修道院这里来打盗贼了。现在的话呢，只是拿了帝国的西边一小部分啊。
Professor, do you know how happy I was to hear you were still alive? I'll tell you how happy. For the past 2 days, I haven't had my morning or my afternoon naps.
在这之前都有睡吗？
Well, as long as we weren't marching. Can't sleep much then. But it's not for want of trying.
You finally joined us, have you? I attached myself to the Imperial Army as well. Seemed the thing to do. I feel I owe it to Edelgard to set my past feelings about the Empire aside. I am happy to help her. It's strange, isn't it? After 5 years, the 3 professors are together once more. I am most curious, though. You say you were asleep for 5 whole years. Incredible. Perhaps this is another effect of your crest. I do look forward to investigating you in greater detail.
请手下留情。
Wonderful news. I am most excited to begin. We must find the time, of course.
Right.
It's normal for history to be revised in favor of those who hold the power. The documents in this library are no exception. It's perfectly possible for someone to have made edits to them. But it's my belief that no one has the power to blot out the truth entirely. I like to read the same texts over and over again. That way, I can spot some of the truths hidden between the lines.
去大教堂的话呢，我们先去门口啊，去触发一下这是谁的支援剧情呢？
Professor?
Dorothea.
This may seem a bit sudden, but I want to thank you, Professor. That is, for letting me live my life the way I want. I've noticed you've been giving me fewer of those soul-revealing gazes lately. I appreciate you making an effort to not trouble yourself over who I spend my time with.
被你发现了吗？
Well, of course. Did you think I wouldn't notice? It's kind of sweet in its own way. Professor, may I tell you a story about when I was younger? I was an orphan, living in the back alleys of Enbar, until one day I was overheard singing. That was when my new life began. I was suddenly a songstress in the Middle Franc Opera Company. Performers, nobility. I met so many people. But none of them ever really knew me. I was just some young, pretty girl who could sing. A spectacle to be admired. Even though everyone praised my looks and my voice, and they showered me with gifts, I knew one day I'd be old. My looks would fade, my voice would change. I wouldn't sound the same. And I started to wonder, when I did get old, what would I have left? I'd be old, alone, and back on the streets of the capital, right where I'd started.
难道你没有积蓄吗？你就不能把以前这客人给你的打赏留下来做投资吗？为什么会在暗巷里面啊孤独老死呢？
That's sweet of you, even if you are just flirting. I never had much to begin with in life, and I worry that one day I'll be that way again. That's why I keep searching for someone who will love me. Someone unaware of the songstress, who can love a girl that used to be scared and alone on the streets of the capital. I wonder if such a strange person can even exist.
那个人就是我。接着我们去唱歌。
Me? After the battle 5 years ago, the Imperial Army occupied Garreg Mach. The cathedral and several other buildings were destroyed, but we've done some repair work here and there, and we're using the buildings as a base of operations. As for me, well, the church moved its headquarters to Fargus, and I've seen no reason to follow. When I returned to Enbar, I received a summons from Her Majesty, and I chose to answer.
你为什么不去王国呢？是因为他原本的歌剧团也在帝国。
I was so surprised to hear that the faith of Saros was a sham. My eyes nearly popped out of my skull. But just because the church lied to us doesn't mean that the goddess isn't real. That's my take on it anyway. I'd feel very anxious with no one to pray to.
就算是没有神啊，也要造一个神出来进行崇拜。我们让伊艾里扎来唱歌。伊艾里扎的话呢，他只跟贝尔纳提塔有支援度。
I almost forgot how to sing.
They won't notice if one person doesn't sing, will they?
Professor? So I said, 2 can play at that game. I told him, a small-time little weasel like you ought to be begging me for attention. Oh, it gets me so mad, so worked up. Why aren't there any men around here who understand what a catch I am? Come to think of it, you've always been nice to me. If only you were a man. I mean, you listen to all my problems. I feel like I can really trust you. I don't have that kind of thing with a lot of people.
你是重要的伙伴，抱歉没帮上忙。
I know. It's a real tragedy. I suppose this is what the goddess has ordained, so I'll accept it. All right, enough of this moping around. What we need is a change of mood. We've still got a lot to do together. When I think about that, what are 1 or 2 men?
冷静点吧。
I can't stay calm when I'm like this. What's wrong is, it's not just 1 or 2 men, it's more like 100 men, maybe even 200, more. I'm completely... Oh, I can't get out of this mood. Actually, I've got an idea. Exercise will help. I'm going to the training ground. Come on and give me a hand. Gonna work my anger out on 100 training dummies. Maybe 200 if we've got them.
我忽然想到，我可以更改一下他们的目标了。一按里扎的话，枪术和指挥。飞行这么拉垮，那就单独学一个飞行好了。自学的效果1.5倍。
You've survived. How very fortunate. Were you dead, I wouldn't be able to fight you, but you are very much alive. Now I have a chance to kill you.
尼玛！哎？
I have a favor to ask.
哦，这个是阿比斯的任务。
Edelgard is controlling the Empire. She is putting the pressure on the Kingdom in alliance. Empire and religion are at open war. It will be difficult for us at first, but corrupt nobles are many. That means the common people will rebel and be joining our side. With you, Professor, the battle tides will turn. I have certainty.
哎，怎么我自己的房间还有人要在这里触发剧情？萨米亚。
Thanks for your help out there. Battles tend to go smoother with you around.
你才是帮上我大忙啦！
I think you did most of the heavy lifting. It may be unwise to think this way on the battlefield, but I feel I can trust your commands without question.
为什么呢？
Not sure. I might have an idea, but never mind. I've also noticed that you've been putting me in more precarious situations lately. Almost like you know I won't question your orders.
下次也拜托你了。
Huh. I'm glad you trust me to get the job done, but still, I knew you were doing it on purpose. You're in a very important position now that you're leader of the Imperial Army. Funny to think you used to just teach at the Officers' Academy. Your old students still call you Professor. That's no title for the commander of an army.
我很高兴能被这样称呼。
You'll always be their professor, huh? You sure are an interesting one. My people lost the war, and I was left to wander Fodlan alone. But I guess meeting you was my prize. You look confused. Did you not know any of this? I was living in my homeland of Dagda up until the Imperial Army destroyed it 10 years ago. But being a mercenary, I have no real allegiance. That's why I'm working here now. Don't worry, though. I don't plan to turn on you.
All right, I'm ready to fight. Let's do this.
我很期待。
Leave it to me. I can take on the whole, most of the enemy's army. I know my limits now, Professor.
传信的猫头鹰的羽毛。
Professor, what brings you out so late?
我听到了奇怪的声音。
Oh, that was likely my voice. I've been worrying about something. I asked you once to help me achieve my goal of being a person who can simply nap all day. Then I thought, if the world becomes a peaceful place, all my crest research might be for naught.
为什么？
Well, I don't see how crests have much use in times of peace. Certainly there are crests that make you stronger and could be used in engineering. And I suppose crests that increase magical abilities might help doctors heal injuries. Still, the possibilities seem limited. It's as if crests were designed to be used only in times of war. Their power meant to bring about death and destruction.
或许没错啊，文章的话正是为了战斗而生。
I cannot prove what I say is true, but suppose for a moment that it is. The longer this war goes on, the more useful my crest research becomes. But if the war were to end today, we would go on living, perhaps not using the power of our crests at all. It is truly my dream to be a crest scholar, but I also dream of all the wonderful naps peace would bring. Saying it all out loud, it feels a rather stupid thing to worry over. Knowledge or peace, sleep or war.
这不无聊。
Thank you, Professor. I appreciate the sentiment. Although if I stop researching crests, I'll have one less excuse to spend time with you. Professor, don't make faces like that. People like you, who listen to my blathering and then nod and smile as though what I say matters, people like you are very precious to me.
再去一次大教堂吧，好像又有人的支援度可以提升了。
No.
Professor! Hey, Professor, something's been bothering me. Remember that suspicious guy I chased after back when I was a student? A knight scolded me for it, but at the time I really thought I was doing the right thing. Now that I've had more experience on the battlefield, though...
I've been looking for you. There isn't much time, so I'll keep this brief. The knights encountered a band of brigands while out marching. It was hard fought, but we prevailed. Our soldiers are highly trained, but the enemy was formidable, and we weren't expecting combat. There were a number of casualties among our troops.
为什么向我报告？
There is something I wanted to bring to your attention. The brigands all bore identical tattoos of a scorpion on their arms. Please keep an eye out for that mark in the future.
Oh no.
Don't mention it. If you'll excuse me, I need to get back to my duties.
Heck of a coincidence, right? As soon as I mention that suspicious guy, this happens.
还好他们被讨伐了。
But some of the knights died in combat. They died because of what I did 5 years ago. This is my fault. If I'd stayed quiet and tracked the guy down like you said, we would have stopped those brigands sooner, and I wouldn't have blood on my hands.
说不定反而会危及到孩子们。
But he probably wouldn't have. Now those knights, they're not coming back. We both know it. This is all my fault.
这不是你的错呀，你也没办法改变这一切，对吧？嗯，再回一次自己的房间。阿罗伊斯。
Hello, Professor. What brings you here? Fancy a bit of fishing?
只是正好看到阿罗伊斯你。
Are you looking for help with something? Ah, no. Your eyes tell a different story. You know, I can hardly go fishing without thinking of old Gerald. He and I would just sit here, casting our lines again and again. I'm no better at it now than I was then. Not a single nibble.
安静等就行了。
Just like your father. You know all the tricks of the fisherman's trade. I was hopeless at it, but he was a master. In the time it took me to catch one fish, he could fill his basket to the brim. You know, talking to you, I'm feeling very nostalgic. Why don't you join me? We can trade some stories about the old man. We spoke before about how Gerald never seemed to age, right? Once, when he was drunk, he let the secret slip. He said he'd had an infusion of crest-bearing blood, and it had greatly extended his life.
这个文章之血呢，其实是雷亚注入给他的。他因为文章之力而延长了寿命。你看雷亚自己的话活了上千年，活了几千年了，对吧？那杰拉尔特呢，当然也获得了这个能力。
Well, we'd both been drinking. I figured he was joking, so I just laughed it off. Then I asked him his age. He said he'd stopped counting after he hit 100. And he was telling the truth. In those 20 years he was away, he didn't age a bit. An incredible person, to be sure. And I probably don't know the half of it. Actually, I'd like to ask you something about Gerald, if you don't mind. When Gerald was away from the monastery, what was he like?
他那时候很喜欢去钓鱼。
In other words, he was exactly the same. When he was with the knights, he always found time to go fishing. He was hooked on it, you might say. He'd say there was no greater pleasure in life than sinking his teeth into a fish he'd caught and washing it down with a drink. I have to say, right now, fishing with you, it really takes me back. This feels just like the good old days, when Gerald was sitting alongside me.
其实阿罗伊斯刚才提到的文章之力，可以提升我们的寿命的话呢，这个也是我们玩帝国线非常亏的一点啊。我现在呢，几乎是一个不死之身啊，不死不灭，可以活几千上万年。然而呢，我等到我们打完了帝国线，我就变成一个常人了啊，是不是叶艾里扎老师？
Professor! Oh my, it's so good to see you. These days, so many old friends seem to be disappearing. But you're here. It's incredible to see you again after 5 years. I have a feeling your name will go down in history.
这个农作物啊，3个蔬菜种子和2个果树种子，我已经种了5年了。5年后来收获，看看有什么吧。2个番茄，4个洋葱，4个无菌，1个白维罗纳，就这，种3个蔬菜种子和2个摩尔菲斯产的种子吧。白维罗纳的话是加魔防的。继续去触发支援剧情。佩托拉
Professor, please do not be concerned. I just did too much overworking and lost my strength.
太勉强自己了。
Yes, that is the truth. Please accept my apology. I have sorrow. I am sorry to be fainting at a time like this. Even though I was not asking for your care and attention, you gave it willingly.
不要再逞强了。
Will you have a listen to me? There is something that I must be saying. I am thinking you already have knowledge of why I came to Fodlan. Not for studying, but as a hostage for the Empire. So that Bridget would not be rebelling anymore. It feels like a knife against my throat. That I am making my grandfather obey the Empire. Because I am a hostage, it is not an option to be giving up. I must be fighting, and winning, and staying alive. I must do anything to be making life better for Bridget. To be making Bridget and the Empire stand as equals. That is what my people are wanting from me. And what my grandfather, the King of Bridget, is wanting.
那佩托拉的心愿呢？
My want? I am not knowing of that. The wants of my people are something I have power to achieve. Their wants are my own.
自己的心愿要自己找。
What I really want... I have understanding. Wait, no, I actually do not have understanding. Yet. What I am understanding is that there is something I am not understanding. Before the war is over, I will have understanding. That you can be counting on.
Right.
魔法水晶，白尊，
Hello there.
东方商人和南方商人他们卖的东西啊，没有更新啊。没有
Return soon, please.
鹰嘴豆。
There's unrest everywhere these days. All of my fellow merchants seem to be endangered. I hope things go back to normal soon. People need more to smile about, aside from my great deals. Hey, how about a favor? Hey, Professor, I know you're back. I won't even charge you. You sure?
安娜的话就用不着挖了。
Professor?
I can't believe how long it's been since I left home. Since I was dragged out of the house, I mean. 5 whole years. It's weird to think about.
不可思议。
At first, I remember I was desperate to go back, but now it's the opposite. I have friends here, and I have you. The monastery's become a second home to me. Back then, I never would have dreamed a day like this would come.
太好了。
It's all thanks to you. You've given me a second chance at life. If not for you, I never would have gotten used to leaving my room, let alone the monastery. Maybe the battlefield's just dulled my senses. I'm much better with strangers and new places now, though. I don't panic nearly as much as before.
那么下次你就跟我们分开行动吧。
What? Independent? As in, alone? That sounds like a tough assignment. Where did this come from all of a sudden? Hey, hold on. You're teasing me, aren't you? Please don't joke around like that anymore. It's torture for me.
知道啦，知道啦。
You're still not taking me seriously. I mean it. Promise me you won't do that again. Friends respect each other's feelings, don't they?
答应你吧。
Good. I'll hold you to that. You're absolutely not allowed to send me out anywhere on my own. Got it? You would need to come with me. If you're with me, I can go anywhere in the world.
我会悄悄地从后面跟着，我的心与你同在。
No, that defeats the purpose. Why can't you get what I'm saying? Oh, that's enough. I need some time alone.
贝尔已经进步的够多了啊。
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. What's that? Do I have brothers in the church? You really are well informed. My older twin works for the Knights of Saros, but I think he's just a grunt, not a noble gatekeeper like yours truly. Unlike me, he's very devout. He left the Empire a long time ago.
A moment, please.
By making an enemy of the church, disorder is running rampant among the populace. It's quieted down over these last 5 years, though. The well-being of Her Majesty is steadily improving.
启蒙运动还文艺复兴呢？难道这就是结束中世纪的统治啊？
At long last, we meet again. I knew you were alive. I knew you could survive. And 5 years on, you arrive. We're reunited. I'm glad I kept watch for you in the downstream villages all that time. I was so devoted to finding you that I left the Knights of Seros. Now I serve no one other than you. I'll protect you, just as I promised Captain Gerald I would all those years ago.
感谢阿罗伊斯。其实呢，他们都是有自己的事情做的，但是只有阿罗伊斯找了我5年啊。你看一下他们的历程吧，都没有找我，对吧？你看，像汉尼曼的话呢，他就是远离塞罗斯教团，再次臣服于帝国啊。这种，马努埃拉也是，只有阿罗伊斯，他是辞退塞罗斯骑士团，四处寻找青青啊。然后我现在选择加入帝国的话，他也一直都陪着我。过来接个任务。
I need a favor.
逃兵，消失于深邃森林的工兵团。这个任务的话，我们之前好像是做过的。
Since the great nobles lost their standing, the regulation of the merchant houses has relaxed somewhat. You'd probably have thought that would make it easier for us to profit, but the world isn't so simple. The war has made the price of goods unstable, causing no end of hardship for the people.
战争呢，必将导致通货膨胀啊。首先，这个基础能源价格的话，什么油价的话，一定是暴涨啊。这也是没有办法的事情。菲尔迪南特。
Take that!
比平时来的认真呢，发生什么事了吗？
Oh, you know, there is always something. It never ends. Lately, I have been feeling uneasy, impatient. Edelgard claims victory after victory. She never stops. 5 years ago, she ascended the throne and swept away the corrupt nobles, my father included. I always thought I would be the one to unseat him. But she did it instead, with all the ease and indifference of someone cracking an egg.
菲尔迪南特也是个带孝子啊，人家把你爸给扫荡了啊，你还说这本来应该是你做的事情。
Now, as the head of House Eyre, I serve Edelgard. I have to accept that I am her subordinate, working beneath her to reunify Fodlan.
不过菲尔迪南特的话呢，也算是成功上位了啊，取代了他老爹。也对嘛，上位者不下来，做儿子的怎么上去呢？
The disparity between Edelgard and myself is obvious. She never stops moving forward, single-minded, never wavering. But where does that leave me? Here, flailing about, going nowhere, contributing nothing.
应该没有这回事吧？
But it is. That is the reality. Not once since our days at the Academy have I exceeded Edelgard's abilities. I saw her as a worthy opponent. She did not even see me as a contender. She did not even consider me at all. As the head of the noble House Eyre, I must be able to achieve results. But all my efforts have come to nothing. Results are everything. I have not shown results, so I will be stagnating here forever.
你有留下成果。
I appreciate your kind words, but you are wrong.
你的骑士团在我们的战斗之中啊，起到了至关重要的作用。只有你在，我才可以一回合结束战斗啊。
I know that I have a massive wall to climb, and I must climb it alone. Even so, may I ask a favor?
当然可以。
Professor, please keep an eye on my progress. I would appreciate if you were always by my side, bearing witness to my accomplishments.
接着的话，去一趟骑士之间。
What's that look on your face? Surprised to see me? I'm a mercenary. Always have been. Even when I was with the Knights of Saros. I never was too attached to Fodlan. I was considering leaving soon. But I might change my mind if you're around.
萨米亚，如果你不招募他的话呢？他在教会线也是会自动加入的啊。现在居然加入了帝国。
Are we leaving for battle? I heard it's a long march. But it's fine. I've had plenty of time to stay inside lately, so I think it's time I run out. Yeah, I can do this. No more Bernie Bear. Oh, yeah. People call me Bernie Bear since I hole up in my den all the time. Not anymore, though.
贝尔，贝尔，贝尔，可爱的贝尔，我要让贝尔嫁给死神骑士。这个组合不错吧？想想就搞笑，贝尔居然跟死神骑士在一起了。
Which means that there are some elements of your power that cannot be explained by current theory. Although this may lead to a discovery that alters the very fabric of Crest research. Oh, pardon me, Professor. I became lost in thought, and I do tend to ramble. I suggest we call it a day. Do you concur?
还可以继续。
No, no, you mustn't push yourself too hard. When you are not in battle, you are so often here with me. I get so energized speaking with you. Well, I must remember to pull my head out of the clouds.
汉尼曼这个老色批啊，他老是说一些虎狼之词。
That said, perhaps we should discuss things unrelated to crests from time to time. Some sort of silly, light-hearted topic might be nice, eh?
你有什么话题吗？
I'm not especially skilled at small talk, alas. Let me see. Perhaps we should discuss... I know. Food. Not my strong suit, the culinary arts, but I do enjoy a good meal. Which kind of food do you prefer, Professor? Sweet or spicy?
我全都要，甜的跟辣的我都喜欢吃，最好是又甜又辣的。如果非要我选一个的话，选辣的。
Spicy? Quite the opposite of me. Yet you're an exception in lots of ways, so it's not altogether surprising. An old colleague of mine theorized that those who bear crests favor sweet flavors over spicy. She suggested that the crest exerts some manner of influence over... Oh, there I go again. How embarrassing. We were supposed to be avoiding talk of crests, weren't we? Terrible habit of mine, finding a way to turn any conversation towards crests. I really should find a way to stop that.
来说有关文章的事吧。
That is kind of you, Professor, but it's all right. If you were to lose your patience with me, it could have an incalculable impact on my research. That sort of thing has happened in the past, you know. Back when I was still in the Empire.
在帝国有谁厌烦了你，对你的研究带来无法估量的影响了
At
吗？
first, any lady I was spending time with would titter and say she didn't mind if I talked about crests. But at some point, she would always become fed up and stop listening to what I had to say. In the end, invariably, while I was particularly focused on my research, she would write to say we were done. I will do everything I can to keep that from happening this time.
怎么着的？怎么我跟你在恋爱嘛？好像不是啊。汉尼曼年纪太大了，太大了。
Within the territories of the Alliance, the Gloucester and Daphne houses dominate the West. House Gloucester has always supported the Empire. There's not much chance of them defying us. So all that needs to be done to restore peace in the West now is to crush House Daphne.
达芙娜尔应该就是那个Judy 的。
The last 5 years have been difficult at times. My relationship with Edelgard is rather contentious, due to the incident with my father. Nevertheless, I cannot abandon my family's duties. As Duke Eyre, I must play my part in the Imperial Army. Edelgard intends to abolish the nobility, but I know I can dissuade her from doing so.
我之前玩的一个周末，让艾黛尔嫁给了菲尔迪南特，结果还是没有废除贵族制度啊！就算你推翻了教会，推翻了教皇，也依然没有结束文章制度，也依旧没有结束贵族制度啊！去马厩看一下。
Ah, a new face. I am Randolph von Berglies. I'm the guardian of this place. Wait a moment. I'm sure I've seen you somewhere before.
瞎了你的狗眼了，连我都不认识。我这一头绿毛如此的显眼。
Ah, yes. You're Her Majesty's professor. You're alive? Oh, this is my little sister, Fleisch. She's just a rookie, but she's helping me as my assistant.
Hello, I'm Fleisch von Berglies. It's nice to meet you. I know I'm inexperienced, but I'm gonna do my best. You can count on me to look after my big brother.
I've heard you're planning to march into Alliance territory. I'll be here to guard the fort.
就这个弗雷加啊，这个小婊子啊！ 他杀了菲利克斯他爹罗德利古啊！
There were clashes with the Kingdom Army near the Western Front, but this is the first time the Alliance Army has had an honest-to-goodness fight. I hear their leader's pretty competent, but the Alliance Army is pretty tough too. 去食堂吧。 奋起聚会，卡斯帕尔和萨米亚。
I can eat so much of this stuff. My stomach's growling just thinking about it.
I like seeing a table full of my favorite dishes.
接着是蜜桃冰沙，请贝尔和伊艾里扎。
Ooh,
This is my favorite. You've got great taste.
This food brings fond memories.
他俩的志愿度应该提升了。
I must have had a nightmare.
You're awake. Yuritsa.
Yeah, that's it. Professor Yuritsa.
I am not a professor.
Wait, what? You're not Professor Yuritsa? Oh, yeah. Professor Yuritsa always wears a mask. So then, who are you?
Yuritsa.
他说的是他不是老师，而不是他不是伊艾里扎。
I don't understand. Look, are you Professor Yuritsa or aren't you? Please make yourself clear.
I am Yuritsa, but I am not a professor.
A Yuritsa who is not a professor? So there are two Yuritsas running around the monastery? Oh, wait. Aha! I got it. I get it now. You're no longer a professor. Therefore, you're just Yuritsa. Plain old Yuritsa. Our professor isn't a professor anymore either, but doesn't mind the title. I guess I figured you'd be fine with being called professor as well.
When I was teaching, it was simply a task. Nothing more.
I don't really get it, but it sounds like there's a lot going on in that skull of yours, Yuritsa. Oh, Bernie, what the heck are you even doing in the infirmary?
You took one look at me and passed out.
Huh? Don't be silly. There's absolutely no reason I'd faint at the sight of you, Yuritsa. I'm coming down with a sudden cold, I think. Yeah, I've gotta run to my room.
先回一下自己的房间，然后再去触发一下伊艾里扎的支援，在钓鱼池这里。
What's the matter? Not hungry?
比起这个
I am partaking in some sweet delights. Is there a problem?
真意外，死神骑士居然坐在食堂里面吃甜品。
I am a person too. What I eat is nobody's business but my own. If you need something, spit it out. My ice cream is melting.
邀你去训练。
Perhaps after I finish devouring this treat.
你他妈真的是死神骑士啊！
And I am not. At the moment, I am Yuritsa von Hrim. The Emperor and the army know me only as the Death Knight, but he is merely an illusion. A demon who resides in my heart. He is not me. Not who I am at my core. He thrives and feasts upon blood, death, suffering. So while I sit here eating, I prefer to just be myself. Yuritsa, I would like to be who I truly am. I am incapable of enjoying my dessert with you gawking at me like that. I have no further words for you. Go.
原来他喜欢吃冰品啊。伊艾里扎的话呢，他多重人格啊，其中一重人格的话呢，就是死神骑士。但是平时的他呢，还是喜欢坐在食堂里面吃甜品。还剩一点体力的话，我们邀请伊艾里扎做个饭吧。来吧，既然你喜欢吃甜品的话，我们做一个祝福果冻。
I have no experience cooking. I can't bear watching. Give me that. Of course.
行，那我们本期的话呢，就先结束在这里啊。下一期的话呢，我们就要进攻联盟了。好的，我们下期再见。